As a former codependent, jealous, insecure psycho, I'm not an expert on relationships. Right, babe? Right. So, but I've been married since 2017, and we've been dating since what, 2016?
Yes.
Have we ever been in a fight?
You say no?
We say no. Have we ever been in a fight for real?
No.
No one ever slept on the couch, right? But here's the thing. This is what I see. For people in a new relationship, whether that's a romantic relationship, a friendship, a new job, if you're an employer hiring a new person, any new relationship, the trick is that the real person isn't going to show up for 6 months. So I took a course years ago, 2014, called Life Skills International. And it was a Christian-based program, and I'm not a Christian, right? So whatever, that was part of it, but I kind of just went for the work on myself and the relationship aspects. It looked back into childhood, family, parents, and all of those kinds of things. And one of the biggest takeaways that I got from that course was the instructor said, if you're in a new relationship, the real you isn't going to show up for 6 months. The real them isn't going to show up for 6 months. She said 3 months to 6 months. I took it to 6 months. I figured let's give it 6 months. So, for example, when I met my wife, she was a sweet girl, seemed very pleasant, a nice family. Everything seemed to be going great. But in the back of my mind, I knew, okay, the real person isn't going to show up for 6 months, because what we all instinctively do is we put our best face forward. So if you get a new job, of course, you're going to be the best you can be for 3 to 6 months. And then before you know it, you get comfortable in the job and you're like, man, fuck this job, or I'm not going to work that hard on this, or I'm not going to do that extra time for this. We start to expect more out of the relationship, and we let our guard down, and the real personality starts to come forward. So, dating my wife, she's the sweetest girl I've ever met. She's not jealous. She's not controlling. She never got bitchy. She never picked a fight with me. She never questioned me about what I was doing. And in turn, I didn't do any of those things to her as well. I made a decision like, okay, I have a history. I can be codependent. I can be super jealous. I can be a little wackadoodle. And I'm consciously not going to do those things in this situation. I'm just going to see what happens if we can start in the present and move forward to the future and never have to look back at each other's pasts and get into all our dirty laundry bullshit that people tend to want to talk about when they get into a relationship. But I knew in the back of my mind, okay, whoever this girl is not really going to show up for 6 months. So this sweet, really nice, pleasant person could all just be the best face forward deal until we get more comfortable. So while things were going incredibly, I had it in the back of my mind that 6 months was kind of where I would start to see if this relationship could really work out. So I knew, even though I really like her, we're hanging out a lot, developing really strong feelings for this person, I still had my guard up a little bit for that 6 month mark, right? And sure enough, 6 months rolls around and nothing changed. Everything was the same. The personality didn't shift. I didn't all of a sudden see a jealous person. I also didn't shift at 6 months and start getting jealous or controlling or codependent. So it's just this really beautiful thing that kind of emerged. And by 6 months, I knew that I was going to marry her. So that's where I was at. At 6 months, I had already made up my mind about it. But for people that are in a new relationship, no matter what kind of relationship that is, we have to understand that I'm putting my best face forward for up to 6 months. Some people can't hold on to it that long, and their real personality starts to come out around maybe month 1, month 2, month 3, month 4. But right around 6 months, if there's some hidden bullshit that's going to come out, most people can't maintain it past that mark. So new relationships, I would advise keep your guard up on some level until that 6-month mark. Wait for the real person to show up. Wait for the real personality traits to show up. No major decision should be made in any relationship prior to 6 months. So, hey man, I gave my dad this advice. I've given other friends this advice. And the people that didn't follow this advice, sure enough, turned around and found out, oh boy, things change a few months into the game. So no major decision should be made prior to the 6-month mark. Give yourself that time. And also give yourself the right to earn the relationship. Give them the right to earn the relationship. And if at around 6 months, things are going pleasantly and nicely, and there's been no major personality changes, there's been no shift in the relationship dynamics, jealousy and controlling or lying or whatever other things happen in relationships, which I don't experience in my relationship, but those things tend to emerge, and most people can't keep up a facade for longer than 6 months. Give yourself the time to really get to know the person. No moving in, no shared bank accounts, no craziness prior to 6 months, because whoever the real people are, yourself, myself included, is going to start to bubble up to the surface at around 6 months and later, sometimes before that. So just hang on, man. Ride it out. Take it easy. Have fun. Get to know each other. Do great in the job. Get to know your employer. Get to know your employees. Get to know your friends. Take it easy. Give yourselves that 6-month window of time to get to know each other and to see what the real personality is and what the real belief systems are in the relationship. And that's what I think, that upon that foundation, really meaningful long-term relationships can be built in whatever dynamic that is, romantic, friendship, employer, employee, whatever, But I think I see people rush into things too quickly, and they get overly committed before they allow themselves to show up and before they allow the other person to show up. So I'm not a relationship guru or a master, but this is something that I've followed, and I have arguably probably the best relationship with my wife that anyone could ever have. And that happened because she's a really awesome person, and I've just kept my asshole tendencies at bay successfully. So 6 months is the window. If we give ourselves that period of time, we have a much better foundation upon which to build a long, meaningful relationship where we actually know the other person, we actually know ourselves, and then vice versa. So it is what it is. But again, who the fuck do I think I am? You shouldn't listen to me. I'm full of shit.